Okay, so this is the biggest mistake that I see coaches and consultants make right now. And honestly, if you don't get this right, then you're just not going to get clients and you're just not going to make money. Okay, so let me explain what it is. If you want to have a coaching offer that actually sells, you need to get this. Okay, so you need to understand how your coaching business actually works. Your coaching business is a very simple system that has really three components, and I'm going to show you what those components are. And by the way, please excuse me my really ugly handwriting, but this is basically how your coaching business operates. Okay, so we're going to have three different steps. Step number one, or whatever, like component number one, is going to be source leads. Okay, and I'm going to explain like what I mean by that. Component number two is going to be reach out to those leads, right? That have actually sourced in step one, and obviously step number three is sell to those leads so they actually make money and they actually get paying clients, right? Now, let me explain what exactly I mean by these three steps. So, number one, source leads. This basically means finding people who are your ideal clients online and doing that consistently and predictably. So basically finding people who you can sell your offer to online. Okay, this is what sourcing leads mean, right? So you need to be able to find your ideal clients online so they can talk to them. You can book them in on a call, and then obviously you can sell to them. So sourcing leads, this is the first step. The second step is reach out. So what this means, reach out, is basically as soon as you found your ideal clients online or whatever ideal prospects, you need to be able to reach out to them, whether that's like sending them a cold DM, a cold email, or an email, or just calling them or whatever it is. You need to reach out to them so they can talk to them and you can try to book them on a call so they can sell your offer. Right? It's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. So once you've actually done that, once you've booked them on a call, obviously you're going to have the sales call with them and you're going to try to sell them on your offer. And this is how you make money. This is how you sign clients. So this is like a very simplified, let's say, like way of how your business actually works. Okay, three steps, very simple. Now, the problem with most coaches and consultants is how they actually operate their business and how they actually run or start their business. Now, let me give you a very practical, simple to easy to understand example. Okay, so let's just say that I am very good at fixing mindset issues, right? So I'm very good at like eliminating limiting beliefs. I'm very good at working with people and helping them be more confident or whatever. So I'm very good at working on mindset. What most people do is they know that they're very good at working on mindset. And so they're going to be like, okay, well, because of this, I'm going to become a mindset coach, right? I'm very good at working on mindset. I'm very passionate about it. So I'm going to become a mindset coach. And this is what I do. I just coach people on their mindset. So this is how they're going to advertise themselves online. And they're just going to, refer to themselves as mindset coach. Very simple. Now, the problem with this, the fundamental problem with this, okay, is that if you are just calling yourself like a mindset coach or a fitness coach or whatever type of coach, fundamentally you have a bottleneck in your business because you don't have a one specific type of client that you can serve. You don't have a specific problem that you can help people with, and therefore you don't have a specific promise that you can make to people. Okay, so that you can actually sell to them. Because usually what happens is coaches can help a bunch of different people who have right issues with their mindset, whether there's like whatever, like a 20-year-old like young guy who wants to start his own business, but he has like mindset issues, or the mindset coaches can even help like say professionals, right, who want to who are whatever 50-year-old, they work in tech and they want to step into like a C-suite type of role, but they have mindset issues, and this is what's stopping them, right? So they can help a bunch of different people. And this is fundamentally wrong because you don't have a specific type of client that you can target, and you cannot talk about a specific problem that they face, and you cannot talk about a specific promise, right, that it can make. Now, the reason why this is wrong is because, again, if you advertise yourself as a mindset coach or a fitness coach or whatever it is, and you don't have a specific client and a specific promise that you make, then fundamentally you're going to have a hard time sourcing leads. And this is the biggest problem. This is the first biggest problem. If you're a mindset coach, you're going to have a hard time finding people who need your offer. And this is why coaches and consultants say all the time, I'm just not getting my offer in front of the right people. This is because you are too vague with your offer and you don't have a very, very detailed and hyper targeted ideal client. So you have a hard time finding them because your offer is very vague, is very broad, and it can pretty much help anyone on earth with mindset issues. But that is way too broad. Okay. So this fundamentally bottlenecks your business because if you cannot find people, right? You cannot, if you cannot source leads, if you cannot find leads online, then guess what? You cannot book them on a call. And guess what? If you cannot book them on a call, then you cannot sell to them and you cannot sign clients and you cannot make money online. So as you can see, if the step one is not in place and if it's not dialed in, and if you cannot consistently source leads, then you have a very big problem because this is the biggest bottleneck of your business and you cannot make clients if you cannot sign clients and you cannot make money. So this is the problem, okay? Because this is how most coaches operate. They call themselves a mindset coach, whatever it is, type of coach, but they're too broad, they are too vague. And this means again, they cannot source leads, they have a hard time booking people on a call because their offer is very vague, and then they have a hard time selling them. So what is the right way of actually doing this if you want to make sure that you have an offer, a coaching offer that actually sells? So this means shifting from the mindset of like I'm a coach, I'm a mindset coach, I help people, I coach people in their mindset. You need to shift from this to actually selling a transformation. Okay, so let me give you an example. Let's say that you are, again, very good at working on people's mindset and you are a mindset coach. But what you got to do next is you got to look at all the potential options that you have when it comes to targeting your ideal client. So, what are the different people that you can help based on your expertise? So, what you can literally do is you can literally make a list of the different types of people that you can help with your knowledge, with your expertise. So again, number one, let's say that is like a very young guy who wants to start his own business or whatever. Young person who wants to start their own business, they want to make money, they want to be successful online. Or you can also help like, whatever executives working in tech, right, in the tech industry, right, technology industry, and they want to whatever advance their career, they want to make more money, they want to have more impact. So like let's say you have multiple different avatars. What you need to do is you need to be able to specifically target one type of person. So you need to narrow down essentially, right? So let's just say that you're going to pick the one specific avatar, and that's like, executives working in tech who want to advance their career and their business, right? But obviously, the root cause of their problem is the fact that they have mindset issues and they self sabotage or whatever. And obviously, you can help them to eliminate all of those mindset issues, and therefore they're going to be able to advance their career, make more money, and so on. By you getting specific, right, you are going to alleviate the number one, the biggest bottleneck in your business, which is sourcing leads. Okay, because if you are specific, you just got to think about it. Okay, if you are specific with your offer and you say, okay, so I'm not just like a general mindset coach, but I specifically help executives who are working in the tech industry. I help them, right, advance their career, right, advance into like a C-suite type role, and also add whatever 100K to their, income, right, to their yearly income. So what this means is that it's going to become way easier for you to number one, source leads. Number two, make a specific promise so that you can get those people booked on a call. And number three, actually sell to them, right? Because obviously, when you clearly define your ideal client, it's easy for you to find them online because it's quite easy to find like, executives working in the tech industry. What you can do is you can literally look up like tech companies online on LinkedIn. Go on LinkedIn, look for tech companies and just look for people who work at those tech companies. And then you're going to be able to easily find executives who work at the tech companies, and you can consistently reach out to them, tell them about your offer, and boom, get them booked on a call, and then try to sell them. Or you're also going to find hyper specific groups. You're going to find groups of, executives or just people overall who work in the tech industry, who want to advance their career. They want to make more money, right? And you can just reach out to them. You can tell them, tell them about your offer, and you can sell to them. Okay. So as you can see, by being specific, it's going to be a lot easier for you to actually reach out to the right people. It's going to be a lot easier for you to make them an offer so to get them booked on a call, right? And once you've booked them on a call, because you're specific, it's a lot easier for you to sell to them. So this is the right way of doing it, right? But the wrong way of doing it is where you call yourself a mindset coach. And again, as a mindset coach, you can help a bunch of different people. This is very general, okay? It is very broad. So therefore, it's very hard for you to source leads because you can pretty much help anyone with any type of problem. But guess what? It's not only going to be hard for you to source leads, but it's also going to be hard for you to make a specific offer and to get people booked on a call because just saying, hey, I'm a mindset coach and I help people with their mindset is not really enough to get someone booked on a call. Like, if you want to, obviously, especially in today's market, if you want to get someone booked on a call, right? And if you want to get someone to be interested potentially in your offer, you need to make a specific promise. Nobody wants to buy mindset coaching, right? Nobody wants to get coached in their mindset. People want specific results and specific transformations, okay? And so this is why it's a huge problem. Okay, it's a huge problem. And you, like, the main takeaway from this video, I guess, is you need to shift your perspective from just being a coach and selling mindset coaching or fitness coaching or confidence coaching or dating coaching or whatever it is. So shifting from just being a coach and selling coaching, shifting from that to being someone who solves a specific problem, okay, for a specific type of person that it can easily find online, and having a specific promise. Because when you're specific, it's easy to find the people who need help, okay, who need your help. So it's very simple for you to source leads, to find leads online. And then it's also easy for you to make an offer, a specific offer, a specific promise to them so you can get them booked on a call. And then once you're on a call with them, because everything is specific, it's easy for you to actually sell to them, right? You sell outcomes. You don't just sell coaching, you sell outcomes. Now, here's another thing that is very, very important. So again, most coaches and consultants fail. I'm bringing this up again, right? Very ugly, ugly handwriting. But most coaches fail because, again, they fundamentally cannot consistently source leads. And this is another problem. This is the most important step in your business, by the way, if you have a coaching business. But the thing is this: you need to be able to consistently and easily find your ideal clients online. Okay. The most important thing as a coach is that you need to be able to find and source your ideal clients online so that it can then reach out to them, get them booked on a call, and then try to sell to them, right, on a sales call. Now, the problem is a lot of coaches get really fancy with their ideal clients. Okay. They get really fancy with their ideal clients. And when you think about it, it's literally impossible to target their ideal clients online. So therefore, if you cannot reach out to your ideal clients, you cannot book calls. If you cannot book calls, you cannot close clients. If you cannot close clients, you don't make money and you don't have a business. So if you cannot easily and consistently find your ideal clients online, then you cannot make money. Let me give you an example. So I literally had a client, and she wanted to work with people, specifically women who have ADHD and have been adopted, and they work a corporate job. Okay, so let me just say that again. I literally had a client who, she was a coach, and she wanted to work with women who have ADHD, who have been adopted, and now work in a corporate job. So when you think about that, like, the biggest problem is, how the hell are you going to find ideal clients for this offer? How the hell are you going to source leads, right? Which is, again, the first step. How the hell are you going to source leads online? How are you going to find women who are, number one, adopted, right? This alone can be a pretty big problem. But number two, also have ADHD, and number three, they also work a corporate job. So fundamentally, it's almost impossible to, step one, source leads for the type of offer. So if it's almost impossible to source leads for this type of offer, it's almost impossible to get them booked on a call. If it's almost impossible to get them booked on a call, then it's almost impossible to try to sell to them. Okay. And that creates a bunch of different problems, because if you cannot easily find your clients online, then what are you doing? How are you going to sell to them? Again, if you cannot find them, you cannot sell to them. So what you need to think about, right, when you're thinking about your coaching business, when you're thinking about your offer, is you need to think about, okay, how am I going to actually find my ideal client avatar online? Like, can you easily find your ideal client online or not? If you cannot easily identify them and find them online, then, like, you're just going to have a hard time booking calls. You're just going to have a hard time making sales. So whenever you're looking at your coaching business, you want to make sure that, number one, you can easily find your ideal clients online. Okay, you can easily source leads. So then, number two, you can make a specific offer to them to get them booked on a call, and they can sell to them. Okay, so obviously I gave you that example with, adopted women who have ADHD, who also work a corporate job. On the other side, if you want to target, like, for example, fitness coaches, right, or like whatever, personal trainers, like, fitness trainers, right, who help people lose weight or whatever. Well, that niche is very easy to find online because I can literally go on Instagram and I can literally type in like fitness coach, personal trainer, or whatever, and I'm gonna find like hundreds of people in this market. So this is a good idea because I can easily source leads for this offer online. I can easily target them. I can make them a specific offer. I can do a little bit of research so that I find out exactly what do they wanna get, and I can make a specific offer to them. I can book calls easily because I can easily find them. Another example, right? Even with coaches and consultants, it's very, very simple and it's very easy to find coaches and consultants online. I can literally type in like keywords on LinkedIn. I can type fitness coach, right? Like whatever, mindset coach, right? You're going to find a lot of coaches on LinkedIn online. There are a lot of groups with coaches online, right? So it's very, very simple. It's very easy for me to find my ideal client online to source leads, and therefore it's easy to reach out to them. So let me give you another example, right, of a business that's just not viable, of a business idea that's not viable. So, for example, if you are a coach and you want to target like women, right, married women who want to secretly get a divorce and they, or like whatever, they secretly want to leave the relationship, how are you going to find ideal clients for that market, right? Like, how are you going to find women who are married and they want to secretly leave the relationship, but maybe they feel guilty or something like that? So they're still married, they're thinking about leaving the relationship, right, on the inside, but they feel guilt and shame, and they don't know how to do it. Again, the question is, how are you going to find clients for that specific offer? Because again, if it's hard for you to find clients for that specific offer, it's hard to sell. It's hard to make sales. It's hard to get clients, right? So if you kind of need to be looking for the needle in a haystack, then again, it's just going to be very hard. So again, you just got to remember that your business, your coaching business works like a system. Okay. So you need to have a specific offer, okay, to target a specific type of client, and you need to be able to easily source leads online. You need to be able to easily find your ideal clients online, whether that's on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Maybe they have a YouTube channel, or maybe you can use like databases like Apollo, Zoom Info, or specific websites like Zillow for real estate agents. But the number one most important thing as a coach is to be very specific. So target one specific type of person, solve one specific type of problem, and make one specific type of promise to them, right? And you need to be able to easily find them online. If you cannot find your ideal client online and you have a very, very complicated ideal client avatar description, you need to rethink your business. You need to rethink what you're doing and rethink your ideal client avatar, because if it's very fancy, okay, then it's very hard to sell to them. So fundamentally, you need to be able to easily find clients online. If you can easily find your clients online, then guess what? You can do research, right? You can find out again exactly what do they want to buy, what are their biggest problems, and then you can get them booked on a call. You can make a specific offer and you can sell to them. Okay. So you need to forget about the ideal client, like whatever, ideal prospect, right? Ideal client avatar or ICP or ICA or whatever. You need to think about the old way of describing your ideal client avatar, where you're saying, okay, my ideal client avatar, his name is Bob. He's 50 years old. He makes 200 grand a year. He lives in Texas. He has two children. That is bullshit because that doesn't tell you anything in terms of sourcing them. So how you need to think about your ideal client is not like what's their name, right? Like how many children they have or stuff like that. You need to think about how am I going to find them online? How am I going to find my ideal client online? Okay, do I have a predictable, easy, consistent way of targeting them online and reaching out to them? If not, I need to rethink my business. I need to rethink my ideal client. So again, if it's easy for you to find your ideal clients online, to identify them, to source them, it's going to be easy for you to make sales. So again, think about it. You don't need to overcomplicate your ideal client. You just need to make it as simple as possible and make sure that you can consistently find them online so that you can reach out to them, you can sell to them, and you can make money online. So this is the biggest problem. Coaches overcomplicate this. They create this very, very fancy offer that's very complicated. They create this very, very fancy and complicated description of their ideal client. And this is why they're just bottling, because they cannot find them. They cannot find ideal clients. They cannot craft a specific offer that has a specific promise so that they can get people booked on a call, and then they constantly struggle. They rely on referrals. So this is the biggest problem. of the coaching industry. Now, if you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, okay, because YouTube is going to show you more videos just like this one, and hopefully enjoy the video. Smash the subscribe button as well so you see more videos from me, and I'm going to see you in the next video.